Anna never imagined that Christmas morning would be the day her entire life broke open, but that was exactly what happened. She was a 34-year-old single mother and a hard-working ER nurse who started every morning in her tiny cottage behind her parents' house. At 5:30 a.m. she always stood barefoot on cold tiles, pouring coffee into her only unchipped mug while the heater rattled like it hated winter. Her 10-year-old daughter Emma slept quietly in the next room hugging her old stuffed bear. "Mommy, am I really yours forever?" she often asked. Anna always answered, "Forever and always." Emma was a gentle child with brown hair that fell across her face while she painted pictures of birds and families sitting together. She had come into Anna's life at age 3, silent and scared, gripping Anna's finger like it was her lifeline. 7 years later she read books 2 grades above her level and always carried her watercolor paper everywhere. She dreamed of a family that smiled at her even if that family never smiled back. "Can I sit with Grace this year at the big table?" she asked softly while smoothing her red sweater. Anna promised, "I'll try, sweetheart." Christmas at the Parker house was never a celebration. It was a performance directed by Anna's father, Jon. The long oak table was always set for 14, with polished china and perfectly folded napkins. The seating was unwritten but enforced with military precision. Jon at the head, Mary beside him, Sarah on the right and Grace in the seat of honor. Emma and Anna always sat near the kitchen door, where the draft slipped through and the dishwasher hummed loudly. 2 days before Christmas Mary warned, "Don't dress Emma too brightly." Sarah bought Grace a new dress. Anna simply whispered, "Okay." On Christmas Day, snow fell in soft flakes as Emma carried her painting titled Our Family Christmas rolled carefully in both hands. She hoped to give it to Jon before dinner. But when they reached the door, Jon barely looked at her. No smile. No, "Merry Christmas." Then Grace ran out in a sparkling dress and Jon transformed, opening his arms wide. "There's my girl," he cheered, hugging her tightly. Inside, Anna searched the table for Emma's name card. It wasn't there. Instead, a small metal card table sat alone by the kitchen door, with 1 plate and 1 paper napkin. Halfway through dinner, Emma stood up from her lonely table and walked to the empty seat beside Anna, the one meant for a cousin who never showed. She unrolled her painting with a hopeful smile. "I made this for everyone," she said softly. The room froze. Jon stood, walked over and stared down at her. "That seat is for family," he said coldly. Anna murmured, "She is family, Dad." But he didn't look at her. He grabbed Emma's shoulder and yanked. The chair scraped, Emma fell hard to the floor and the painting dropped beside her. 14 adults watched. Nobody moved. Anna didn't remember standing. She only remembered already being in motion. Years in the ER had trained her to stay calm when everyone else froze. She knelt beside Emma, lifted her gently and held her close while the child trembled. Emma whispered, "Mommy," her voice thin like paper tearing. Jon stood above them, his hands still half raised as if the ghost of Emma's sweater lingered in his fingers. Anna finally spoke, her tone steady and low. "We are done here." Behind her, Mary dropped her wine glass, red spilling across the white cloth like a warning neither parent chose to see. Snow fell harder as Anna carried Emma to the car, taking photos of the darkening mark across her daughter's back. In the warm cabin, Emma whispered, "Are we going home?" And Anna answered, "We're going to our home." Back at the cottage, she checked Emma for any further bruising, then helped her into a warm bath scented with lavender. While steam filled the room, Emma stayed quiet, thinking the way children do when fear still lingers. At bedtime she asked, "Is Grandpa mad because I'm not really his?" Anna touched her forehead gently. "You are mine and that's what matters." After Emma slept, Anna sat at the kitchen table, opened her laptop, and created a document titled Incident Log, Parker Family. She wrote every detail she could remember from the past 7 years, things she had excused, ignored, or forgiven too quickly. Dates, comments, insults, and moments Emma had overheard. She included every text message from that night. "You ruined Christmas, be the bigger person." Emma fell on her own. 23 messages, none asking if Emma was okay. Anna filed screenshots, photos, and the bruise report. Her nurses documented everything. Now she documented for Emma. She said softly, "Never again." The next morning, a pounding knock rattled the cottage door. Anna already knew it was Jon before she looked through the peephole. He stood stiff in his overcoat, breath thick in the cold. She opened the door only a few inches, blocking his view of the hallway. "You embarrassed me," he snapped, voice sharp and practiced. "That girl needs to learn her place." Anna answered, "Her name is Emma." Jon leaned closer and whispered, "She's not even blood, Anna. She doesn't count." Anna shut the door calmly, locked it, and recorded his voice echoing through the wood. That voice memo, 47 seconds long, became another piece of evidence. "My property," Jon repeated on the recording, claiming ownership of the cottage he insisted was his. Those words made Anna pause for the first time. Whose house was it really? That question settled in her chest like a stone. She remembered her grandmother, Grandma May, the only one who'd ever shown Emma true affection. Something told her the truth wasn't what Jon had been preaching for years. Anna picked up her phone and whispered, "Grandma May will know." And she dialed the number that would change everything. Grandma May answered on the second ring, her voice gentle but alert in the way teachers sound when something serious is coming. Anna told her everything: how Emma fell, how everyone watched, how Jon claimed the cottage again. There was a long silence, the quiet kind where someone is counting before speaking. Then Grandma May asked, "Are you still living in the cottage behind the house?" Anna said yes. Another pause followed, firmer this time. "Who told you that house ever belonged to your father?" she asked. Anna's breath caught. He always said it was his." Grandma May replied, "It isn't." Anna sat down slowly on her bed as Grandma May explained the truth. "I never transferred the deed," she said calmly. "That cottage is still mine. Every wall, every brick, every inch your father has been collecting rent for." The room tilted slightly around Anna. 7 years of $1,100 payments echoed in her mind, suddenly heavy with betrayal. Grandma May continued, "I'm calling Mr. Allen today. You remember him, the attorney from your college. He handles my estate." Anna whispered, "Grandma, what are you planning?" And the old woman answered with quiet steel, "No one pushes my great-grandbaby." Mr. Allen called the next morning with the tone of a man who already knew where the evidence would lead. "Anna, I checked the county records," he said. "Your father has zero ownership of that property. None." She stared at the stained patch on her wall, stunned. Mr. Allen continued, "You paid him $1,100 a month for 7 years. That's $92,400. Legally, that falls under unjust enrichment." Anna felt her chest tighten as she whispered the number to herself. All those double shifts, all the holidays she worked. Mr. Allen sent her the deed within minutes, undeniable and clear. But the cottage was only the beginning. That afternoon, Mr. Allen reviewed the education trust that Grandma May had created years earlier for all great-grandchildren. "The trust started with $120,000, he explained. "It now has just over $11,000. He read through the statements. 14 withdrawals were marked as educational expenses for Grace, even though Grace attended free public school. "And Emma?" Anna asked softly. Mr. Allen paused. "Emma's name was never added as a beneficiary. Your father had the authority to include her and chose not to." Anna closed her eyes as another truth cracked open. That evening, Anna joined a three-way call with Mr. Allen and Grandma May. Emma played quietly in the next room, unaware of the storm shifting around her. Mr. Allen explained the deeds, the withdrawals, the missing beneficiary, and the financial misconduct. When he finished, there was a long, steady silence. Then Grandma May spoke with a calmness that felt like granite. "Freeze the trust today. Richard gives a full accounting within 30 days. And Emma becomes the sole beneficiary immediately." Mr. Allen agreed. Grandma May added one last instruction: "And issue a 30-day notice for my house. They're leaving." Anna hung up the call and stared at the papers spread across her kitchen table. She wasn't angry anymore. She was focused, the same way she felt during a trauma case. She printed the photos of Emma's bruise, the medical report, the deed, the trust records, and the screenshots from Christmas night. She organized everything into a manila folder labeled evidence. "One step at a time," she whispered. That night she barely slept, replaying Emma's fall in her mind. By sunrise she had a plan not driven by fear but by clarity. This time she would act for Emma completely. On December 30th, Anna made a call she had avoided for years. She dialed the Department of Children and Families hotline, her hand trembling slightly. The intake worker asked gentle but detailed questions. Anna described the shove, the bruise, the photos, and the 14 adults who said nothing. She submitted the documentation by email within the hour. When she hung up, Emma was painting in the living room, holding her brush up to the light. Anna watched her quietly and whispered, "You won't ever ask if you belong again. I promise." The weight of the call settled but did not break her. New Year's Eve arrived with quiet snow and a house full of paperwork. While others celebrated, Mr. Allen stood at the post office sending certified letters that would dismantle Jon's reputation piece by piece. One letter was the 30-day notice to vacate the property owned by Grandma May. Another demanded a full accounting of every dollar he had withdrawn from the trust. Meanwhile, Grandma May signed the amendment naming Emma as the sole beneficiary. Anna spent the night with Emma on the couch watching the countdown. "Will next year be better?" Emma asked sleepily. Anna smiled. "Next year will be ours." By January 2nd, Jon had received the certified letter. Mr. Allen texted Anna. "Receipt confirmed." 13 minutes later, Jon called, his voice cracking with fury. "Your grandmother is confused. That house is mine," he shouted. Anna replied calmly, "Discuss it with Mr. Allen." She hung up before he could continue. Mary called next, crying loudly, but Anna answered with the same steady voice. "You charged me rent for a house you didn't own," she said. The phone buzzed nonstop that day, but Anna no longer felt small beneath their noise. He felt something new: control. The family soon shifted into defense mode. Sarah sent a group message to 23 relatives claiming Anna was manipulating Grandma May. She accused Anna of stealing the family home and insisted Grandma May was suffering from memory issues. But Anna didn't argue. She sent one recording, the 47-second memo where Jon called Emma not blood and claimed the cottage as his property, to her Aunt Linda. 3 minutes later, Linda replied, "Oh God." The truth didn't need a group chat, it only needed light. And for the first time, Anna felt the tide turning, slowly but unmistakably. On the same afternoon the family chat exploded. Anna drove Emma to her first counseling session with Dr. Sarah, a gentle therapist with warm eyes and calm hands. While Emma met privately with her inside the office, Anna sat in the waiting room staring at a fish tank humming softly against the wall. When the session ended, Dr. Sarah asked Anna to step into the hallway. "Emma asked me something today," she said. "She asked if she's real." Anna felt the floor shift beneath her. Dr. Sarah continued, "She says her grandfather has told her for years that she isn't." Dr. Sarah spoke softly but firmly. "Emma is resilient, but she needs the world around her to show she belongs, not just words." Anna nodded, swallowing her guilt. On the drive home, Emma sat in the back seat peeling the edges of her sticker, a purple dinosaur. "Mommy," she said quietly, "is it okay that I'm mad at Grandpa?" Anna glanced at her through the mirror and answered, "It's more than okay." Emma nodded once, as if allowing herself a feeling she had been afraid to hold. In that moment, Anna understood she wasn't just fighting a family, she was rebuilding her daughter. January moved quickly, each day carrying new pressure. When the deadline for Jon's trust accounting passed without a single document, Mr. Allen called Anna. "He hasn't responded," he said. "That gives us legal grounds to remove him as trustee." Anna stood in the hospital break room, still in her scrubs, holding her phone with steady hands. Mr. Allen explained the next steps: a petition to probate court and a formal audit of all withdrawals. "It's going to come out, Anna," he assured her. She felt no triumph, only the quiet exhaustion of truth finally getting its turn to speak. A few days later, Sarah hired an attorney, but Mr. Allen told Anna the attorney had already admitted their case was weak. Meanwhile, the clock on the 30-day notice kept ticking. Jon and Mary had until January 30th to leave the property. Mr. Allen believed Jon would move out before risking an eviction on record. Anna kept her focus on Emma, but every knock on the door still made her heart jump. One afternoon, Mary came alone, eyes red and hands clasped. "Please, Anna," she whispered. "Your father is sick with worry. Drop all this." Anna stared at her quietly. Mary stepped closer as if pain alone might reverse the truth. "We took you in when you had nothing," she said. "We let you live in the cottage." Anna finally answered, "You charged me rent for a house that wasn't yours." The words landed like a stone rolling across a table. Mary cried harder, but Anna didn't bend this time. "Where will we go?" Mary asked. Anna's voice stayed calm. "That isn't my problem anymore," she said. When she closed the door, she felt her hands shake, not from fear but from the strength it took not to open it again. On January 20th, Anna arrived at Maplewood Assisted Living for the family meeting Grandma May had called. The room smelled faintly of lemon cleaner and old coffee, and a long folding table stood ready beneath bright fluorescent lights. Mr. Allen connected his laptop to the wall-mounted screen, his movements quiet and precise. Relatives trickled in, some avoiding Anna's eyes, some too nervous to look at anyone at all. Jon and Mary entered last, with Jon carrying himself like a man ready to reclaim control. Then Grandma May was wheeled to the head of the table, her posture straight and unshakable. "Let's begin," she said. The room fell silent as Mr. Allen displayed the deed on the screen, clear proof that the property belonged solely to Grandma May. She spoke calmly, like a teacher addressing a classroom of tense children. "I allowed Jon to live on my property," she said, "but I never transferred ownership." Jon stood abruptly. "I was going to handle it," he muttered. "This is all exaggerated." But Grandma May held up her hand. "Sit down." Mr. Allen switched to the trust statements, each unauthorized withdrawal highlighted in yellow. Sarah's face lost all color as she realized every transaction was exposed. When Grandma May addressed the missing beneficiary, her voice sharpened. "Emma is my great-granddaughter," she said firmly. Leaving her out of the trust was a deliberate act. Jon tried to interrupt, but the weight of the documents silenced him. Aunt Linda spoke for the first time, her voice cracking. "Jon, you lied to all of us." Two cousins stood up and quietly left the room. Then Mr. Allen delivered the final blow. Emma was now the sole beneficiary and the trust was frozen. Not even Sarah's trembling apology could soften the truth settling across the table like dust finally exposed to light. Anna remained quiet until Grandma May looked at her directly. "Do you have anything to say, sweetheart?" she asked. Anna stood slowly, her hands steady at last. She faced Jon, Mary and Sarah in turn. "I spent 7 years trying to earn a place for my daughter in this family," she said. And she still landed on the floor. She spoke of the rent, the trust, the lies and the silence. "I'm not here for apologies," she finished. "I'm here to say we're done." When she sat, Grandma May reached out and squeezed her hand, firm and full of pride. The next 10 days unfolded with the slow certainty of consequences taking shape. By January 30th, Jon and Mary had moved out quietly, unable to risk an eviction notice on public record. The probate court removed Jon as trustee, citing failure to meet fiduciary duties. Emma's education fund grew to over $50,000 after Grandma May added a personal contribution. Sarah, facing legal pressure, agreed to repay $60,000 to the trust over the next 2 years. Each step felt like a bone snapping back into alignment, painful, necessary and strangely relieving. Anna finally breathed without fear. By early February, Anna requested no contact from Jon, Mary or Sarah. Mr. Allen sent the formal notice, and Anna felt a quiet strength fill the spaces where fear used to live. A few days later, Jon slipped a handwritten letter into the cottage mailbox with sharp, slanted handwriting. "You destroyed this family," he wrote. "This isn't over." Anna read it once, folded it and placed it inside the evidence folder. She didn't respond. The silence she kept now wasn't weakness. It was the boundary she should have drawn years earlier, the one protecting Emma instead of protecting peace. When Emma's birthday came in April, a pink envelope arrived addressed to her. It was from Mary, a simple card with only 3 words written inside. "Love, Grandma M." No apology, no truth, no acknowledgement of the night that changed everything. Anna sat alone holding the card, torn between the instinct to offer connection and the duty to protect her child. Eventually she placed it in a drawer, not ready to give it, not ready to throw it away. "Healing takes time," Dr. Sarah had told her. And Anna understood that this small paper could either help or reopen wounds. By May, life had shifted into something gentler. On the first warm Saturday, Anna and Emma moved into the main house, at Grandma May's firm insistence. "It's your home," she said. "It always should have been." Emma chose the sunny upstairs bedroom overlooking the backyard. She hung her painting Our Family Christmas on the wall, smoothing its soft edges. Later, Anna noticed something new on the picture. Emma had added figures. Grandma May in her wheelchair, Dr. Sarah with dark hair, and Mr. Allen in a blue blazer. "These are the people who stayed," Emma explained proudly. Anna watched her daughter grow lighter in the new home, more confident, more rooted in safety. Every week Dr. Sarah helped Emma untangle old fears, replacing them with belonging. Emma learned she didn't have to earn love by being quiet or perfect. She simply deserved it. One evening, Anna stirred pasta on the stove when Emma wrapped her arms around her waist. "Mommy," she whispered, "am I really yours forever?" Anna crouched, took her hands and answered slowly, "You are mine. I am yours. And no one in this world gets to decide that but us." Emma smiled wider than she had in months. Later that night, Anna paused by Emma's doorway. The soft hallway light touched the painting on the wall. The new family Emma had drawn, smaller but truer, made of people who showed up instead of people who hurt her. Anna listened to her daughter's steady breathing and felt peace settle into her chest like something finally returning home. Family, she realized, was never about shared blood or seats at someone else's table. It was about who protected your heart when the world went quiet. As she whispered goodnight, Anna knew she and Emma had built something stronger, something no one could ever take away again.